All right. Well, hello everyone, and welcome to NOMV's overview presentation. Today, we're going to be discussing a brief history and background about the organization, our approach to well-being, and the impact of the organization. But before we get to all of that, we are going to start with some introductions. So with that, I will kick it to you, Mallory. Here we go.
My name is Mallory Preston, and I've been a practicing veterinarian in Houston, Texas since my graduation from Texas A&M University College of Veterinary Medicine in 2019. I joined NOMV as a volunteer in April of 2021. Since then, I've had the pleasure of developing and leading NOMV's Ambassadors Program and engaging the community as a NOMV expert speaker.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Mallory, and love the picture too. So I am Gabby Cadu, and featured in my introductory picture as well is my obviously very tired cat, Sophie. But I am the organization's outreach coordinator. So I really support on the education, awareness, and outreach efforts of the organization. I have a background in mental health advocacy, as that's been a long running passion of my own, as well as animal care. So while I am not directly a part of the veterinary industry, I like to say I'm a really big admirer and appreciator, and I am based in the Chicago, Illinois area. So, with that, now that you know us a little bit better, we will begin with the content of the presentation. So, we do want to give a content warning here. The following presentation does contain references to suicide and mental health challenges, which some may find distressing. Should that be the case, please feel free to do whatever it is that you need to do. If you need to step away for a moment, it's entirely up to your discretion. So we will begin here with a brief history of the organization. So in 2014, NOMV was created by Dr. Nicole MacArthur following the death by suicide of Dr. Sophia Yen, a very prominent member of the community. Dr. MacArthur really began reaching out to her peers, her colleagues, and those within the community to show support during this really tough situation. And in this, a conversation had kind of started, and a conversation that started very casually became one on online forums, and that became a group of 40,000 strong to this day. And so, with that being said, in 2017, NOMV gained official 501(c)(3) status as a nonprofit. And from 2020 to our current present, organization creates initiatives focusing on awareness, education, and outreach. As far as NOMV's mission, NOMV seeks to transform the status of mental wellness within the profession so that veterinary professionals can survive and thrive through education, resources, and support. The values of the organization include compassion, community, education, support, and equity. And so, with that, kind of understanding the issue a little bit further of mental health within veterinary medicine, Mallory is going to speak to that a little bit further.
In recent years, studies found that those within the veterinary community had higher rates of psychological distress and death by suicide than the general public, with reports that the working conditions, such as lack of work-life balance and staff shortages, have induced exhaustion and burnout within the field. A 2019 study by the CDC found that female veterinarians were 3.5 times more likely to die by suicide, and male veterinarians were 2.1 times more likely to die by suicide compared to the general public. A 2023 Frontier study found that 3/4 of vets expressed concern about exhaustion, work-life balance, and an overall vet shortage. 50% of vets also reported moderate to high levels of burnout, and the entire veterinary population had higher levels of serious psychological distress than the general public at 2.7%. NOMV focuses our direct support to the veterinary healthcare team members through peer support and resources, while our awareness, education, and outreach programs support these teams and beyond to those in the community who interact with the veterinary profession, such as pet guardians, industry business partners, and supports. NOMV's three-pronged approach to supporting the veterinary profession is through peer support, awareness, education, and outreach, as well as resources. Peer support includes VMHS groups, the Lifeboat program, and online forums. Awareness, education, and outreach include educational resources and activities, the Clear Blueprint Wellness Certification Program, and the Ambassadors Program. Resources include NOMV's list, as well as emergency and support grants, all of which we'll discuss further in the upcoming slides.
Yes, just to highlight that three-pronged approach, let's start with our peer support, which, as Mallory had shared, is our veterinary mental health support groups, our Lifeboat program, and our online forums. So our VMHS groups started at the beginning of the summer of 2024. They offer a free and confidential virtual support groups and individual sessions, which is a HIPAA compliant platform. It's facilitated by doctorate level professionals and designed for veterinarians as well as support staff. Our Lifeboat program is the anonymous peer-to-peer support space. We like to say with Lifeboat that it offers a warm line, kind of asynchronous structure in which users are paired with their Lifeboat companions, who are typically in similar roles within the veterinary industry. And it follows that warm line or asynchronous structure in getting responses from communication about one time per day, ensuring that that happens. And we really want to emphasize that all veterinary health professionals are welcome to use our Lifeboat program. And our online forums, as stated within the brief history to the organization, we have over 40,000 participants in the forums. Our volunteer moderators support and share content to these forums, and our groups include veterinarians, support staff, and students. As far as our awareness, education, and outreach, our Clear Blueprint program is our workplace wellness certification program, and it is applicable to any workplace in veterinary medicine. It provides resources to implement mentally healthy practices within the workplace. It also offers access to information, assessment tools, and coaching from NOMV staff. Our educational resources and activities really include a wide range of resources and activities, which are really highlighting our collaborative webinars, outreach campaigns, our conference attendance, speakers bureau, student support efforts, and our anti-cyber harassment resources. And our ambassador program really highlights that outreach effort within our educational resources and activities in supporting local volunteers through spreading the mission of the organization within their very own communities. We currently have 7 active chapters. That includes NOMV, Texas, New England, Great Lakes, Idaho, Georgia, Western Washington, and Brazil. And our resources, our support grants and our emergency grants, and NOMV's list. As far as our support grants go, they offer individual grants up to $500 for those folks who are working or have worked in the veterinary industry or veterinary students enrolled in vet or vet tech programs going through a crisis. These grants are dedicated towards housing, food, mental health, and transportation. Our emergency grants are dedicated towards vet practices struggling to remain open or reopen during natural disasters. And these grants offer up to $5,000 to maintain and provide services to the community. For any questions, we have linked our grants at nomv.org for any follow-up communications or anything to that effect. Our NOMV's list is our peer recommended resource database. It's vetted by volunteer mental health professionals, and we would really like to mention that it is constantly evolving, that new resources are added as they become available. And as far as identifying the impact of NOMV's work, Mallory can speak to that just a little bit further.
NOMV's impact has been felt throughout each of the programs and committees. Listed are statistics from NOMV's 2023 annual report, with the exception of VMHS, which include data from 2024. With that are the firsthand experiences of our volunteers who support the mission of the organization in dedicating their time and energy to support their community. Peer-to-peer support is provided through VMHS groups as well as Lifeboat. VMHS groups served over 500 vets and techs in the past 4 years. A Lifeboat participant felt that the program gave critical support during a time when they needed it. A Lifeboat volunteer felt that the experience was incredibly gratifying. Not only did the volunteer love helping other veterinary professionals, they found community and purpose that they hadn't expected to find. Our speakers and conference program and Clear Blueprint program provide awareness, education, and outreach. The speakers and conference program provided 83 presentations on mental health and wellness and exhibited at 19 conferences, both nationally and internationally. A Clear Blueprint staff member felt that working with the Clear team was a dream come true. Clear's innovative and proactive approach to improving veterinary mental well-being is something they wish the previous employers would have adopted when they were working as a veterinary technician. A Clear intern felt that Clear was the perfect learning environment to complement their social work schooling. It felt good to work on such a meaningful program while also learning the ins and outs of nonprofit work. Our support grants program awarded $200,574 to 390 individuals, including applicants from 11 different countries. One grant recipient felt that the grant provided them with ease of mind at a time when it felt like they were drowning. It helped alleviate a lot of the stress they felt at that time. Another recipient felt that NOMV's grant program allowed them to go to therapy and develop healthier coping skills at a time when they were depressed and feeling hopeless about their career in veterinary medicine. Studies on the veterinary industry as a whole have shown improvements on mental well-being as a result of increased awareness and discussion surrounding the issue. The most recent Merck well-being study has shown an increase in practices addressing team culture, well-being, and mental health, which has created increased workplace satisfaction. 38% of clinics now offer an employee assistance program. 92% of veterinary team members note that they're invested and take pride in their work. And 80% of veterinary team members believe the work they are doing makes a positive contribution on other people's lives.
And as far as supporting NOMV and supporting the organization with that impact, that can be done in multiple different kinds of ways. So as far as our outreach goes, you can collaborate on educational webinars, outreach materials, blog posts, and research. And for any questions or follow up on that, you can reach out to our info@nomv.org. You can volunteer with NOMV, and that can be done through our Salesforce Volunteer Plaza. For any questions on that, you can, of course, reach out. But something as simple as talking about mental health and well-being within your community can make a really great impact as well. We just, of course, ask you to do so in a safe space and in a safe way. Following us on social media, liking and resharing so that you can kind of stay aware with our journey and all of the things that we have got going on at the organization. Donating and sponsoring are also great ways. We have our donation link, our webpage linked, excuse me, and asking your business or local businesses to sponsor the organization is a great way to contribute as well. Our events, while we recently just had our gala and CE event, that is something that happens on an annual basis, so we will be around next year. And we also have our Race Around the World held annually in May. And for more information on that, or both events rather, you can look to those web pages on our website. Attending NOMV educational events as they arise is also a really great way to support and contribute to the impact of the organization. Last but certainly not least, if you have any questions about any part of this presentation, our website is linked here, and our info at nomv.org is also linked once again for any questions or aspects that you need further clarification on, or you just want to connect with us. We are happy to do so. Our Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, social medias, I should say, are linked within the slide as well as our iOS and Android app available to be downloaded on both. But we just want to thank you so much for taking the time to learn more about the organization. We really appreciate your interest and look forward to having you join NOMV in our journey to promote mental wellness in the veterinary community. Thank you so much.